In your first lessons, you learn that tone is controlled by the big three: weight, speed, and contact point. But nobody ever taught you about the mechanism that lies beneath them. In the first video, I introduced the traction model, which better explains tone production through the lens of traction. In the last video, we explored active variables, the ones you control directly. If you missed either of these videos, I recommend checking them out first. They're linked on screen and below. In this video, we're continuing to unpack variables, but this time we're going to focus on ones I call given variables. Let's dive in. Let's take a moment to revisit the stick-slip phenomenon. As the bow moves across the string, it grabs the string and releases it again and again. When stick and slip are balanced, the string vibrates freely, giving us a full, healthy sound. That balance depends on having the proper amount of traction, so ultimately it shapes every aspect of our tone. Take another look at the traction spectrum. Healthy tone production lies at the center of the traction spectrum, where the amount of traction allows for the string to vibrate freely. Below the spectrum are variables, both active and given. You can download a PDF of this chart in the description below. The active variables we covered in the last video can be controlled directly to regulate traction. We're now shifting our focus to given variables, which are not in your immediate control, but come from the instrument or the environment. They require you to make adjustments to active variables in real time to maintain proper traction. The first given variable we'll discuss is string length. This isn't just the length of the open string, it's the vibrating portion between any stopped note and the bridge, which changes with every note played. The closer your left hand is to the bridge, the shorter the length of the vibrating string. Shorter strings increase traction at the bow because the string is stiffest near the fixed ends, where it can't vibrate freely. Further from the ends, closer to the middle, the string moves more easily, so the bow has more traction. When you play a higher note, the high traction middle part of the string shifts closer to the bridge, increasing traction where the bow is. That's why in upper positions, you usually compensate by moving the bow closer to the bridge, increasing bow speed or reducing bow weight. You'll notice the biggest difference in bow traction with large changes of register. Teachers typically describe bow placement as proportional to string length. When the string gets shorter, the distance between the bow and the bridge also needs to be shorter. While this is true, the underlying factor being regulated is traction. Shorter strings create more traction, so adjustments like moving the bow toward the bridge simply compensate by reducing it. Here's a good exercise. Try playing a glissando up the string while maintaining a healthy tone. For an added challenge, experiment adjusting only one variable at a time. When a string is already vibrating, it gives the bow more traction. This means that you can use less weight, a faster bow speed, or a lower contact point with a string in that state. However, when a string is static, it requires more traction to initiate it. Once you initiate a string, the bow shifts from initiating to maintaining vibration. I often recommend starting spiccato or sautille passages from the string, because it's easier to initiate the stroke that way before continuing off the string. Interestingly, vibrational state can also be an active variable as well. If you strike a static string with fast left-hand fingers, or pluck open strings with the left hand slightly before you play, it puts the string in a vibrational state, making less work for the bow. Let's talk about string thickness. Thinner strings like the A string give your bow greater traction, while thicker ones like the C string offer less. Thicker strings have a greater linear mass, greater inertia, which resists vibration. Lower, thicker strings require you to compensate by playing either further from the bridge, adding bow weight, or reducing speed when compared to upper strings. Explore this idea in the owl. You'll notice that you either have to move further from the bridge, slow the bow down, add hair contact, or even add bow weight as you reach the lower strings. Lower tension strings provide your bow with more traction, while higher tension strings offer less. This connects to what we discussed in the string length section, where the fixed end of the string resists motion. Higher tension strings have more stiffness over the whole length, and that stiffness resists movement from the bow. One situation where this becomes noticeable is when you're playing with alternate tunings. For instance, take Bach's Fifth Suite or Gabrielli's Ricercar. In their original tunings, strings, the A string is tuned down to a G. The reduced tension on that string increases traction. To stay within the healthy zone, you'll need to adjust with a faster bow, a lighter weight, or a lower contact point. You'll also notice traction differences when using different string sets that are tensioned differently. In either of these situations, it's important to be aware of tension differences and make necessary adjustments to maintain traction. I hope you found the series helpful to understand tone production on a deeper level. It's much more complex than just a few variables we control directly. If you enjoyed the series, be sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials that help you master your instrument in any style. Also, please share this with anyone that you think would find it interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which given variables do you notice most, and where could we explore them further? Leave a comment below and stay tuned for future videos. Happy celloing, and see you soon.